So who's ever found themselves being a social chameleon? Like very different in different contexts, right? Now, you could say there's some utility to that. I had a friend of mine who was on the philosophy degree I did many years ago, who used to say, you know, you don't play defence when you're centre forward, right? And that was his football metaphor or something. Depending on where you are in the field, depends on the role you have to play. But who's ever felt uneasy about that? Where you're like this way with one set of friends, and then with another set of friends you're this way, and then you find yourself in a situation where you're with those two sets of friends, and it's like, and you start to feel that pull. Has anyone felt that? I have, right? I've felt that many, many times for a long, long time. So this is the socialized mind at play. Because now, it's not that I don't know how to behave. It doesn't matter. You could behave anyway. You could roll one leg up, you could put a clown's nose on, you could play the bagpipes, whatever. But the reason we feel torn is because we're processing on the level of sense of self. It's always, what does it mean about me? This is the place we're at. This is the socialized mind. What does it mean about me? What does it mean about me that David's upset with me? What does it mean about me that I'm like this here and like that there? You know, I have to be seen to fit in because people are validating me. This set of friends validate me when I behave this way. This set of friends validate me when I behave this way. If I mix them together, I'll lose the validation of one set or both set or whatever. And because I'm processing that validation through my sense of self, I'm going to feel torn and pulled apart. Because I'm confused, I don't know what's right. But I believe deep down that there is something called right. I believe it. So I'm always searching for what's right. I'm always chasing the truth and never finding it. There's a distinction that I often draw when I'm coaching people between physical reality and psychosocial reality. There's a lot of styles of thinking which are absolutely brilliant when dealing with physical reality. Like cause and effect thinking. Cause and effect thinking is brilliant when dealing with physical reality. Asking questions like why? Why questions are brilliant for physical reality. Why did the apples fall off the tree? Well, because the wind blew and the apples fell down. Okay? You know, why did the apples fall from the tree? Because Johnny shook the tree and it made the apples fall down. So Johnny shaking the tree caused the apples to fall down. That's useful information because if I want to get apples down from the tree, I know to shake the tree. So this kind of thinking is beautiful when dealing with the physical world. So we get to develop tools and technologies and farming and all of this kind of stuff by applying this kind of thinking to the physical world. The physical world is very, very complicated. But the psychosocial world, my goodness, it's infinitely more complicated than the physical world, and it just doesn't quite work in the same way. It has lots of weird, strange loops within it, odd feedback loops going on, bizarreness, craziness. My God, it's a crazy mess. The psychosocial world is. And people try and apply the same kinds of thinking that work so beautifully in the physical world to the psychosocial world, and it all falls apart. But they're addicted to that thinking because they think it works. They're addicted to that thinking because they think it works. So they try and think their way. They start to see life as a problem to be solved. The psychosocial elements of life as problems to be solved, like elements in the physical world, like problems in the physical world. You can solve the problem of how to stop. You know, how do I stop physical world problem? We have a cat. We had the cat food down by the cat flap. Other cats were coming in and eating the cat food. What do? Well, we'll move the cat food up and we feed the cat, it's slightly bizarre, in the bathroom upstairs, right? Because then cats don't come in and eat the food. It's a simple solution to a simple kind of physical world problem. But psychosocial problems, they work on a whole different rule set. And people get caught up trying to apply the same stuff. Has anyone got a coin I can borrow for a second? So here's a coin, pound coin. I often get clients who are caught up in trying to apply cause and effect problem solving thinking to psychosocial problems. They go, well, why did she do that? Why did she say that? Why? Like as if they can think their way to the bottom of it, they will come up with an answer and fix it. They won't. You cannot think and analyze your way to peace and well-being. Right? You can only free yourself from the thinking and analysis that's been keeping you from it. So I did this thing with them. I say, okay, have a coin. I did this with you, Damien. Heads or tails?
Heads.
You don't get to know. Ever. Ever. How do you feel?
Yeah, I can see it. We were both saying,
Well, you see, the thing is, it can either bug you or it can not bug you. And it depends on whether you accept that you can't know. Because you could ruin the rest of your life over that if you chose to. If you chose to go, oh my God, was it heads or tails? I need to know. I mean, the thing is, he tossed the coin. You could go around telling everyone the story, but he tossed the coin and he never let me know. And I can't rest until I know whether it's heads or tails. As long as you keep trying to chase that truth, you could ruin the rest of your life doing that. So that's the thing. People chase, you see. They chase stuff they can't know. They're playing a sucker's game and they make themselves miserable. Have you heard, I believe this is a Chinese proverb, you can either be happy or you can be right. You heard that one? I used to think that meant that either you'd end up in arguments with people all the time, or you just let it go, let the argument go, and then you can be happy. Or the time you're arguing with people about who's right and who's wrong, you won't be able to be happy. That's what I thought that meant. So I used to think you can be happy or you can be right. I used to think that that meant you can either be bickering and arguing with people, in which case you're not going to be happy, or you can let it go, in which case you stand a chance of peace. That's what I thought that meant. But I don't think that's quite what it means, or at least I think there's a deeper meaning to it now. You see, being happy is an example of state. It's about looking, that's about state, that's about your way of being. Happiness is about where you are and where you're showing up from. Rightness is about facts. So you've got state versus facts. You've got two fundamentally different categories of things here. State versus facts. Now people, because of how effective fact-based cause and effect thinking is in the physical world, people think that it's going to be equally useful in the psychosocial world. So they spend their time chasing facts about how things are. And they think if they can just get it nailed down exactly how things are, if I can just get to the bottom of this, if I can just think this through, if I can just think my way to the bottom of this problem and get the facts straight, then I'll be happy. But what that old proverb's saying is you can be happy or you can be right. You can spend your time trying to chase the facts and get to the bottom of it and figure it out and all of that, or you can fall out of all of that. You can let it fall away and drop away into peace and well-being and happiness and show up from that place. Because you get the best results in life by showing up as you at your best. Your ground of being, how you are in yourself, how you show up, how you engage, is infinitely more significant to your efficacy in life and your well-being in life than crunching the facts and getting to the bottom of things, particularly in the psychosocial world, because it's not only more complex than you think, it's more complex than you can think. Trying to think your way and analyze your way to the bottom of psychosocial problems it's a sucker's game. The coconuts are nailed down. You can keep chucking the rocks, but the coconuts are nailed down. You're not knocking them off.